Hello and welcome back. Last time we went over an example of creating this configurable hinge from generic, fully configurable, infinitely configurable parts. But what we didn't do was go over how to create a specific hinge from, known dimensions with the mounting holes and stuff like that. And today I want to go over how to create a specific hinge like this one that has, some defined dimension mounting holes from reusing the parts that we already created rather than starting from scratch. So I'm gonna go over that. So first I will create a new part studio, and then the key is to use the Derive feature. And then I am going to go to my generic hinge parts here. And in those parameters, I'm just looking at my drawing on my other screen. So it's 1 inch long, and it's going to be 0.75 inch wide. Pin diameter is 0.066 inch. And the thickness is given as 0.025 inch. Then I hit generate, and it will create all the items that are available, and I want the leaf and the pin. And now I have brought this in at the correct size, and I just need to create a sketch. I'm going to create a center point rectangle using R as the shortcut. And gonna make it construction using Q. And this from the drawing is going to be 0.625 by 0.468. So 0.625. Oops, I'm not on this window. I browsed away from this window, so I didn't get the option to enter my dimensions. So 0.625 inches by 0.468 inch. Alright, that's all we need. And then we're going to create a hole, and the drawing tells us it's for a number 2 screw, countersunk, bottom left corner there. So we're just going to pick these two. And basically that's it, except we do have a head on the pin, and we don't actually need that because that hinge does not have that, so we can just use the delete face and pick these faces with the cap option. Heel doesn't really know what to do because there's no surface that closes the end, but that's what the cap feature, leave open, would change everything to surfaces, but cap basically recreates a face on the end there. So now we have basically our parts for a new hinge with the holes, and at this point it'd be quite easy to just recreate the assembly because it's so simple, but I'm gonna actually go over how to fix an assembly. So if I should just rename this so it's not so confusing. I'm going to call it specific hinge. And actually I should rename this one too to specific hinge. And now in here I've got this. I still have my configurations, but I'm going to blow everything away. So I'm going to delete the configurations because I don't need them anymore. And I am going to do a replace. So I'm going to replace the leaves, replace instance, and I am going to go to my specific hinge part which is created and pick the leaf. And then I am going to do the same thing and replace the pin with the pin from our specific hinge part. And now we can see we have a broken mate, but if you expand the mate, actually the easiest way of fixing a mate without messing things up is to not edit the mate itself, but edit the broken mate connector. And here it's telling us it's missing the end of the pin, which is what we'd use to make the other part. So I can just grab the end of the pin again, and that should okay, in this case I lied. Also need to pick the mate connector from this part, but generally speaking, fixing the reference of the mate is easier than editing the mate, because you end up sometimes changing the order, and you can flip your mate more. There's more risk of flipping it or anything like that. But anyway, this is basically all it takes to create this specific hinge based on our infinitely configurable part. So it's, you know, not much work, and you know they're all going to be drawn. If you needed to do another one, you could actually duplicate this and edit this to change the parameters to whatever another hinge would be. So you can keep reusing your work rather than starting from scratch. Anyway, hope that was helpful, and I'm gonna be coming up with some more stuff soon. So see you soon.